Number 27, a sixth grader.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Athens, Wisconsin. I turn this sucker down right there. Welcome to Athens, Wisconsin, Central Wisconsin-East Conference football today. Jason Zaleski here, Dan Ross right there. We've got a whole parking lot full, and we've still got almost 25 minutes to kick off. People are still filing in. They had just got done recognizing the flag football players. They play at 9:15 tomorrow morning. If you want to catch some flag football in Athens, it's at 9:15. But we're here for Central Wisconsin East Conference football here tonight. It's the Athens Blue Jays and the Thorp Cardinals. I just got to get that out of the way right away. That's an homage to my my late grandfather, Harry. But Athens and Thorp, that's what he always called it. Let's see. This is the third conference game for these two schools. Thorp 2-0 in conference, and Athens is 1-1. But Dan, I know you're no stranger to 8-player football. A lot of points, a lot of yards, and we've got those tonight.
Yeah, we might be here all night, just waiting for kickoffs. Two of the higher scoring teams in the conference, in the area, honestly. Thorp, ranked number 5 in the state, 8-man football. Athens, not in the top 10 because they lost to Owen Withee, who's a very good team.
Yeah.
They're number 3 in the state. And I'm sure we have more to talk about with Owen Withee.
We do have some updates about Owen Withee.
Yeah.
But yep, that's exactly right.
But tonight, two of the top teams in the area as far as 8-man are concerned. Here on Zaleski Sports, it's going to be very high scoring. A lot of stars on both sides. Quarterbacks are fantastic. Running backs are great. And good receivers also. It is going to be up and down.
In two conference games, the Thorp Cardinals have scored 101 points. They're averaging 50.5 points a game, and they've given up exactly 0 coming into this one.
They're on a roll.
Yeah, they're playing well so far. Athens, on the other hand, scoring differential, they're minus 18. Now, they took a big loss against Owen Withee. They were held scoreless. They were shut out.
Yep.
50-something or other to nothing.
Yeah.
We can look that up later. But so Athens, they did win last week, and so here at home on senior night, there are 3 seniors, Kyler Ellenbecker, Aiden Yonke, and Blake Hine, the seniors that will be recognized tonight as they're going through the middle school rosters right now. But Kyler Ellenbecker, I know you looked up some of those stats earlier, eye-popping at times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been responsible for 21 touchdowns so far this year. But, yeah, almost 1,000 yards on the ground, 400 yards in the air. Aiden Yonke and Kyler Ellenbecker are going to be called all night long.
Yeah, Ellenbecker went over 450 on the ground just a week ago, so he can explode. Those maybe not familiar with 8-player football, that's one of the reasons we're here. This is a growing sport, a popular sport, and a fun sport to watch. The field, the first thing people will notice if you've not seen before is 13 yards skinnier because we're missing 6 players, 8 on each side, so math says we're missing 6, and so to save. I mean, the scoring is high enough as it is. Could you imagine if it was still the 13 yards wider? We'd be scoring in the hundreds on each side.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot more passing in 8-man football.
Yeah.
Thorp especially. Athens likes to keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. Thorp definitely likes to air it out and try to throw it to a lot of different receivers. And in offenses that have a lot of passes, there's a lot of incompletions, and that clock stops a lot.
Yeah, Aiden Rosemeyer, the quarterback for the Thorp Cardinals. He's so good, Dan. He's got his name on the bus out here from Thorp.
I saw that.
Yeah, Rosemeyer buses. So, I mean, listen, when you're that guy, you get to have your own fleet of buses. Does Aiden Rosemeyer or somebody in his family?
Yeah, 700 yards over the air for the Thorp quarterback so far this year. Those are eye-popping numbers.
Yeah, they are. It all stands out. Captain's on the field right now, so we'll find out kick and kick receive to start this game. According to the pregame clock, 13:50 left before national anthem here. And as I say that, the Athens pep band is getting us pepped up off to our left. Owen Withee. So let's go to Owen Withee football. I was in Owen a couple weeks ago, so the talk really perked up. For whatever reason, Dan, people see me, I walk into the gym or the whatever, and they all want to ask me a bunch of stuff. Oftentimes I'm right. Most times I don't know.
Yeah.
And this was more in the I don't know category. I had heard, but I was in the I don't know category. So Owen Withee not eligible for the playoffs this year, which is disappointing to Blackhawks fans because they're having a tremendous season. I mean, they're beating people by 60 points every game.
They're really good.
Now, a short aside, we see that, though, a lot. The main reason that teams. So this is Owen's second year in 8-player football. Early on in that transition, you see some bigger rosters, and a bigger roster in this format can mean a better team, more points, that type of thing. They're making that transition because they see the class sizes in the smaller grades in the high school, in the middle school, and the elementary school. They know what's coming, and they know that they won't be able to compete at the 11-player level with 18 on the sideline.
Yeah, and that's something that obviously the WIAA does to prevent teams from just switching willy-nilly, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've talked in the past about some of the rural schools around here that are barely hanging on to 11-man football, and knowing that if you do switch, you can't participate in the tournament series for 2 years.
Yep.
It's a big penalty, and it's probably preventing some schools from making that jump, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is, and I feel the frustration of the Blackhawks fans not able to, because the season that they're having yet, we see this all the time, those teams, their first year or two, Athens was that last year.
Yep.
So their first year or two, you still have a pretty big roster, so it looks like, man, we are really good at this sport. And then after a couple of years, that all kind of levels out because now you're into that 15-man roster, 16-man roster. I don't know that that's completely the reason for it, although I can see that being another kind of ancillary reason for that decision. But as Dan just said, you need to sit out 2 full seasons of postseason play before you're allowed to participate in what the WIA calls a culminating event, which we know as the playoffs.
Yep.
So Owen Withee is in that second year now. They'll be playoff eligible or available next year. You still have to win enough games to be eligible. We'll get into that in just a second, too. But they'll have that next year. We see that all over the place. They did make an appeal, but again, these are members' rules, so the schools are the members. The schools made the rule, and that's the rule that's being upheld right now.
Yeah, it's nothing against Owen Withee. It's it is the rules that all the schools voted on.
Yeah, and as Dan said, the main reason, and probably the reason for that rule is so we aren't switching every year, right? I've got a low roster this year, or there just weren't enough kids that came out this year, so now we're going to go 8-man. Oh, next year, now we got 40. We're coming back. And conferences can't exist with that type of change every year.
Yeah, and, years ago it might have been a little bit easier, but now the WIAA is in charge of the conferences, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And all the conferences are balanced. They have the same amount of teams. And losing, we see it all the time. Conferences that have lost teams, they get forfeit wins, right?
Yep.
And nobody wants a forfeit win. Everybody wants to see a game every week. So it is a good rule, but there are times where it's unfortunate when Owen Withee has a monster team and we're not able to see them after 2 more weeks. Yeah,
they'll have just a couple games, and then that'll be it for their season. Then they'll prepare for the playoffs football-wise next year. One of those 11-player conferences that's in a tailspin is the Merriwood. Athens was part of that Merriwood not that long ago, as was Owen Withee and Abbotsford and some of these other. Now, Abbotsford is again, but one of those conferences in a tailspin, one where Pittsville had left, and now they've come back because there was an opening, so you come back home. And still, though, collecting some forfeit wins in the Merriwood this year, a lot last year. I mean, some of those teams were mathematically playoff eligible in week 2 last year out of the Merriwood.
Yeah, that's right. And the CWC South, I think, is another one with Assumption, and they have 1 or 2 forfeit wins, I think, already.
Yeah, Wild Rose bailed, and there might have been one other. Yeah, you're exactly right. And there's probably others in that, a school like Rosholt, and sometimes you get those that are on the precipice that are making a decision. I think back to Auburndale in 2020. Jay Anderson, fantastic football coach. His Auburndale Eagles are ranked right now.
Yeah, they're really good.
They played 8-player football for 1 year during the COVID. They got an exemption for just the 1 year. The WIA approved, or the members approved that 1-year exemption. Coach Anderson told me the only way I get a football team every year is in the spring. I roam the hallways and, can you play? Are you going to play? Are you going to play? Well, of course, schools were shut down during the spring that year, so he had no time to kind of assemble his team, and then schools weren't allowed to reopen until the middle of August.
Yep.
So he was without any contact with kids in school for months. And when sign-up day came, they had 8 or 9 kids show up, and others had, done other things. And so they were given an exemption, and they were really good that year.
Yep.
But they still had very few. I think they maybe trotted out 12 by the time the season began. But now since then, the roster has built again, and now they're ranked like 6th in Division 6. They're undefeated.
Yeah. They have a tougher schedule coming up, and we'll probably get to that next week and the week after when they're playing Colby and Edgar.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is a problem that other parts of the state and bigger schools don't deal with very often, right? Are we going to have enough players to play football this year?
Yeah, I think you're right, Dan. I think it's very much a central and north central and northern Wisconsin phenomena right now with these school enrollments declining. Interest, I suppose, statewide might be down for football with injury concerns, and the drumbeat of concussions out of the NFL started about a dozen years ago.
Did you see Tua last night?
I mean, you
Terrible.
talk about that. Yeah, I mean, he probably should not have played to begin with, coming off a concussion. Well, they say it wasn't, but everybody knows it was on Sunday, and then they bring him back out there. Now, that was a wicked hit. I mean, he was thrown to the ground.
Yeah, he was suplexed.
He might have got a concussion anyway, even if he hadn't had one coming in. But anyway, so all these injury concerns, broken bones and all that, moms and dads have opted for other things for their kids to do. So participation levels have decreased, and then when you add school enrollment decreases on top of that, it just really magnifies the situation.
Yeah, and teams are doing the best they can. WIAA saw this trend coming. That's why they approved the 8-man football conferences and the playoff series, because they had unofficial playoffs for a year or two.
Right.
And WIAA said this is a real thing. This is an opportunity for schools to keep their football players engaged and to keep going forward. And it's growing. It's growing fast, especially in our area.
It is growing fast. It's a popular sport. And I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. This is a legitimate sport. I know some people, they hear the term 8-man or 8-player football. Oh, that's flag football. No, it's not. This is regular football. They play by football rules. They play in a football field. This is football. And as a matter of fact, there are 2 high school 8-player footballs in the NFL right now. Tariq Cohen, Bears running back, 8-player product out of his high school. Leighton Vander Esch, a former Pro Bowler, plays for the Dallas Cowboys and has since he was drafted, a former 8-player high school player in Idaho. I don't know where Tariq went to high school. I'm sorry. But there are 2 right now. There have been others. Josh Brown was a kicker for a long time for the Seattle Seahawks and multiple Pro Bowls there. And there are others, too, that have been drafted and kind of been in and out, but like any other, have been in and out. So not only is it a legitimate sport in high school, but there are NFL products out of it as well.
Yeah, and 8-player football really allows your skilled players to shine, right? It is a smaller field, but there's 6 less beefy guys on the field, right?
Yeah.
And that creates a lot more space for receivers and for running backs to get out in the open field and make a juke or two, and all of a sudden it's a 60-yard play, and that's what's exciting about it.
Well, we're excited to be here again. It is Athens Thorp. Kickoff is about 10 minutes away. Anthem about 5 minutes away. Dan and I are going to take a 60-second break, and we're going to come back and give you seeding updates. A couple of sports are almost through with their regular season, and playoff seed meetings are just over the horizons. We'll talk about that when we come back right after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
Oh, come on. It's online on ZaleskiSports.com.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell.
But you can be. All you got to do is stand right there.
And you could use a little help.
Oh. Especially if you wear the cow blanket. That'd be a great background for us.
Everything you need in a health
okay.
plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business. And I put them in that order in particular.
We don't, no.
For each one of our employees, it's family first.
I'd rather not.
You do what is best for you and your family.
Because the one reason is once one comes in, then the other side's going to want in.
It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Good tonight.
Muted. I unmuted and muted. I was so flustered. The sun has gone down. When I got here at 5:30, it was staring me right in the eyes, and it was warming me. The sun, you can just see just a little bit of light over the horizon, and we're just about there. Playoffs just around the corner. Herm Edwards famously crooned about the playoffs.
Playoffs?
About 20 years ago. And then the old the old Colts football coach. Man, I forget him. He went on a playoff rant a little while before then. But, yeah, playoffs. Playoffs are right around the corner. High school volleyball's just got a couple of games left. Some teams only have 1 or 2 games left. They'll take an extended break. Volleyball playoffs begin the second Tuesday of October. Soccer playoffs shortly thereafter. We are 2/3 of the way through the football season. We've got just a couple weeks left there. And I went to get some rules clarifications. Again, people come up, they ask me all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I don't know. And one of the things that I've been asked about was volleyball, with the talk about computer seating. And this will be the third year that football has undergone a computer seating process. That's where the steely-eyed, cold-hearted WIAA supercomputer decides your playoff seed.
I like it a lot more.
And fate, I love it a lot more because it gets all the rats in that coach's meeting room out of the way. And I've written about them. I won't continue on.
The Lakeland Conference.
Well, the Heart of North.
Or the Heart of the North Conference.
Heart of the North, yeah. And you can read about that. Just type that up. Just go to Google Zaleski, Heart of North, and it'll all come out. Multiple times I wrote about them. So volleyball coaches have not found a reason to go, though, to computer seating. So I verified that earlier with our friends over in Stevens Point. Some things being ironed out there. Oftentimes they play best of 3 or best of 5. Some of the top-tier teams play seemingly hundreds of games. Some of the other schools are good if they can fit in 15 to 18. So a lot of unevenness throughout the playoff field. Everybody gets in. So because everybody gets in, if you got misseeded in that coaches meeting, maybe it's not all the worst thing that could happen to you. So soccer the same way. So they've not quite been ready for that yet. But football they have. And we're going to have a small football reveal coming up from the WIA in about a week and a half, if I have that right.
Yeah, I am interested in if it's going to be brackets with the same song. I didn't mind the song, but after you watch it for an hour on loop, such an opportunity to do a good job with it, right?
Yeah.
You have more eyes on the WIAA during the bracket reveal than you have the entire year. It's a great opportunity to have sponsors and really go all out with it.
Well, for better or for worse, you may see me in that show. But for better, we've got our national anthem now. So we'll turn the camera to the Athens Pep Band. All right, so our colors have been presented and have exited stage left.
Real
Camera
guns.
left.
Real guns.
Good gravy. Oh man! I've never been intentionally shot at. I've been at down at the gun range, and went I won't even bring it up. But, that was something. It was exciting.
Yeah.
Heart pumping.
It was.
The Thorp Cardinals get introduced as a team, and we are just a couple minutes away from the start of this one. One of 10 games on the network. This is Thorp at Athens. Dan Ross will tell you about the other 9.
Yeah, a really big game. 2 big games in Marshfield tonight. The first one, Rapids at Marshfield. Rapids comes in a game behind the Tigers in the Valley Football Association standings. If Marshfield wins, it's going to go a long way into clinching a conference title. So, good game over there.
It's a technical possibility that they do today.
Because Wausau West could lose.
To Appleton West. Probably not, but
Probably
okay.
not.
Anyway.
Yep. The other game at Marshfield is WIAA. We had a lot of fun with them last week.
Boy, I'd say.
They're at Stratford, a much different opponent than what WIAA saw last week, of course, with Wittenberg.
WIAA, Amherst. Two offensive-oriented teams where Stratford plays lockdown defense.
Yep. So that is going to be really crucial in the standings because Stratford is tied for first right now with Amherst. Amherst is hosting Nakusa here on Zaleski Sports. DC Everest at Hortonville. That's a game that DC Everest needs when we talk about playoffs. Everest is riding that cut line right now. You have to finish above 500 to make the playoffs. Everest, I believe, is 2-2.
In conference, yes.
Yep. Pittsville is at Edgar. That is going to be an interesting game. Edgar not playing as well as we thought maybe they would at this point. Pittsville has been really pesky throughout the season. We're going to see how good that Pittsville defense is as they get the Wildcats over in Edgar.
Well, they seem good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loyal at Assumption, conference champion Assumption.
Yeah, first time in WIAA history. They won some WISA conference championships, but since joining the association in 1999, their first ever conference championship. Loyal having a down year, you figure that to probably get away from the Hounds later on.
New London at Wapaka. Wapaka has struggled so far this year. This is going to be a good game. Feel free to tune in there. I believe, is Steve Maves out there too?
Yeah, no, Steve is in Wisconsin Rapids.
Okay.
So Wapaka, that is Jack Weber and Brendan Retzloff on the call. Jeez, too many names.
Fantastic. Manoa at Spencer for those small school fans out there.
Yeah, SC's not had the season that they wanted, but a chance to get right tonight.
Owen Withy is at Greenwood. Owen Withy, one of the best teams in the state, and here Thorp at Athens, where we have kickoff. It's a squib kick up the middle. It's going to be taken at about the 30-yard line. Broken tackle, still on his feet, goes to the outside. Across midfield or right about midfield. Good return, looks like it's Landon Pink. So Thorp will start 1st and 10 from just on their side of the 50.
The high-scoring Thorp Cardinals, again, 101 points in conference, 0 given up through 2 games.
It's crazy. Yeah. Stars for Thorp. Aiden Rosemeyer, he's number 5. He's going to be the quarterback. Dual threat.
Owns the bus company.
Absolutely. Number 21, Logan Hansen. One of the best receivers and does run the ball a bit also. So, 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Play action. Rosemeyer back to pass. He's going to take off himself. He's across the 45-40 for a first down. So 1 play, pickup of about 15. He is a big-bodied player, really quick.
Get a big chunk right away on first down. And so Athens been spending all week preparing for these Cardinals and saying, no doubt about it, Dan, saying, well, we need to keep them from the big gains in the first play of the game, big gain.
So 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 41-yard line. Back to pass. Rosemeyer under pressure. He is brought down. He's sacked.
Well, there's a way to negate that big play. You get him on first down, and you get him for a loss. That'll back up the Cardinals.
So 2nd and long.
I don't know, though. 16, yeah. I don't know, though, that the Cardinals will be that dissuaded, though, from losing yardage. It's just a small road bump for them, I think.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about 8-man football coming in, and you're going to see that there's 3 offensive linemen. So defensive, you want to rush 3 or 4, right? Depending on if you want to blitz a linebacker. This is a handoff here on the near side. This looks like it's Logan Hansen. Across the 40, taken down at about the 38. So able to get everything back plus a couple, but it's still going to be 3rd and long for the Cardinals.
Yep. Gain of about 8 on 2nd down. We'll bring up a 3rd and 8 because 8 plus 8 equals 16.
That's right.
So, okay, so you give up the big play if you're Athens on the first play of the game. Now, though, your defense has got the Cardinals on a 3rd down. I don't. First time seeing the Cardinals this year, I don't know if they consider this to be a 4-down area, but you at least get them on 3rd down. Give yourself a chance.
I don't know if they've seen a lot of 4th downs.
Probably not.
From the shotgun, Rosemeyer back to pass. Looks on the far side, going for it all. Great pass, great catch.
Just wow.
Ashton Croplin, his 4th touchdown of the year.
Dropped it right in the bucket.
Yeah, that was nice. That's Rosemeyer's 10th passing touchdown of the year.
So 39-yard touchdown, Dan.
6-0 early.
Yeah. Just dropped it right in the bucket, and they do not see a 4th down.
They don't. It looks like they got the kicking block out.
Okay. You know, we don't see this at any level. A lot of kicking. And the kicks we saw last week, not very good.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what we find out here from the Thorp Cardinals. This is number 3, Ashton Croplin.
Yep, he's caught the touchdown, and he hits the extra point. So we are a minute 11 into the game, 7-0 Thorp. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Back here for more football on Zaleski Sports. We are proudly sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Normally, Dan, this is the Red Zone channel. We're going to mix in some Red Zone, some scoring updates later on after I get myself comfortable here working in the dark. Make sure I can see where I'm going. Yeah, normally Red Zone channel, but we're going to mix in plenty of touchdown and Red Zone action and bring you a special presentation by Security Health Plan of 8-player football here in Athens.
Ashton Croplin to kick. He was the place kicker and caught a touchdown. It's 8-man football. You do everything.
Well, if you can.
Kick is going to be received at the 20-yard line. Stutter step, stays on his feet down across the 30-yard line. So a pretty good return of about 10 yards.
Again,
for Captain Zarnke.
Thank you. Through the course of this season, the Blue Jays have scored points. There have been no shortage of points for these Blue Jays this year, except for 2 weeks ago they happened to be shut out that game, 56-0 by Owen Withee. But Dan, they've scored 54, 38, 30, and last week 74.
Yeah, crazy. Kyler Ellenbecker, the quarterback for the Blue Jays, responsible for 21 touchdowns in 5 games. He's in the shotgun. Handoff near side. Pretty good gainer on first down, pickup of about 5 for Jacob Anala.
On the carry.
I should have worn glasses tonight.
Well,
and it's dark, right? So I'm trying to read rosters without much light.
Well, I know these girls here to our right are going to help us with pronunciations too, especially for Athens, right? You can help us with those? Okay. So just in case, Dan's got a little help there.
Fantastic. 2nd and 5 for the Blue Jays, their first offensive possession. No split outs this time. This is going to be a quarterback keeper the whole way for Ellenbecker. Breaks outside, breaks containment. Across the 45, he's across midfield and out of bounds. A first down for the Blue Jays.
You saw Dan there. They packed it in. Like you said, they brought everybody in up tight to the line of scrimmage and up tight to the ends. And that was a run, a pretty obvious run right away, but yet there's no doubt the Cardinals knew that, and yet Ellenbecker able to bounce it, break it, and then down the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to put defensive players outside the box. And if you're able to break contain, if you have a really good block on the outside, it's always going to be a big gainer, especially in 8-man football where you don't have safeties and cornerbacks just out there.
So they pack it in again here on this now 1st and 10.
Yep, very similar formation. Ellenbecker from the shotgun. This is handed off up the middle. Good defensive play that time by Landon Pink, second time we called his name.
So
Pickup of maybe one.
same formation, but a little different variation there. I would imagine the Blue Jays probably will run a couple other plays out of that same formation. Again, the point of the offense is to stress the defense. That's football. 101 is if you can stress and put conflict on the defense, so you're going to get big offensive gainers. So the Blue Jays, hoping later on this formation that they bring out again is going to create conflict on the Cardinals' defense.
Yep. So 2nd and 9. 5 offensive linemen, so 2 tight ends. This is going to be a quarterback keeper looking for room. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 for Ellenbecker.
So the same play that we saw 2 plays ago, just Ellenbecker not able to bounce it one way or the other that time. Cardinals did a better job of contain.
Yep. 3rd and long, 3rd and, we'll call it 8.
Okay.
For the Blue Jays.
Sounds fair enough to me.
One of the things about 8-man football that you'll see is that the quarterback goes to the sidelines for the play almost every time because the field's skinnier. Play clock is the same, so why not have the quarterback run 15 yards or 20 yards to the sideline?
All right, fair point.
3rd and 8. 3 wide receivers this time. One's in motion. Zarnke in motion. Back to pass. Ellenbecker across the middle. He overshoots the receiver by about 5 to 7 yards. It's going to be 4th down. We'll see what the Blue Jays do.
Yeah, that pass was off the mark from the time that it left Kyler's hand. And now we'll see how the hand is going to be dealt by quite a collection of coaches here. Sean Steinke, Craig Dietrich, Adam Ellenbecker, Cameron Dietrich, Darian Ellenbecker, Tom Ellenbecker, and Jake Stange. None of them listed as the head coach on the roster that I have anyway.
I was talking to a friend today about Dietrich being a really good basketball player last year, and they said,
Cooper.
Half of the town is actually Dietrich's. So,
girls, how does that work? When you go to the Dietrich family reunion, just everybody in town just goes all at once? Either of you, Dietrich? No, okay. Well, you're not invited then. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So 5-yard penalty. Looks like we might be punting now. It's going to be 4th and about 13. Looks like it is going to be a punt. Motion man on the punt. Little soccer-style kick. High kick, short. Goes out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks it. Probably about the 30. I bet you they find it right on the 5-yard line, whatever it is.
That's a pretty good idea, right?
Yep.
And it's a comfortable spot to place the ball. They're going to walk it up, though, a little bit.
That was like it's a 30-yard line.
Never mind. No, they're
Yep.
just returning the ball back to
30.
the Jays sideline.
You know what? Why complicate it? Like, if it's out at the 29, make it the 30.
Yeah. Especially early in the game. Some famous people have said on occasion, what difference does it make? 1 yard? Either way.
On that side of the field, not too much. If it's in the red zone, it is a big deal. So the Cardinals come out for their second offensive possession, up 7-0. Able to move the ball pretty well last time. Give up the middle. This is Logan Hansen.
Pretty powerful run there by Hansen, able to drag a couple would-be tacklers along with him, and it's going to be enough to scratch out a gain of 8 down the play.
Yeah, if you're getting 8 yards up the middle and you're dragging people the whole way, it's pretty good. Rosemeyer, back to pass, looks downfield. Now he takes off. He's across the 40, breaks a tackle out to about the 46-yard line, they're going to call it. That's a first down for the Cardinals.
Again, those of you new to 8-player football, you can see why yardage and points are maybe a little bit more able to come by. I didn't say that very well, but even though there are 6 less players on the field, and the field is skinnier, those 6 less players, could cover a lot of ground for you. And there's just openings, especially in a passing-oriented offense, when all but 3 perhaps are retreating. It leaves a lot of room for the quarterback.
Rosemeyer from the shotgun this time. 2 wide receivers on the near side. He's going to keep it himself. The Zion run. Breaks free, 40, 30. He's gone. One guy to beat. He's going to go the whole way. Touchdown Cardinals, a 53-yard scamper.
It's pretty good. You can really see how these Cardinals are able to stack up points left and right. A couple of long touchdowns, as Dan said, that one for 53. It was a 49-yard touchdown pass on the drive before. And just like that, the Cardinals well over 100 yards of offense and double-digit points already.
4 minutes into the game. Out for the extra point, Ashton Croplin. Good on his first attempt. Good snap. Laces were in, still gets it through.
Ashton Croplin, extra point is good.
14-0. Thorp over Athens early. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family-owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football.
Welcome back to Athens football. 14-0 Thorp. Kickoff just went out of bounds, so we didn't miss anything. We have Rapids just scored on Marshfield. It's 7-7 first quarter.
And scored on a wacky play. It was. It looked like the ball was on the ground. All the Marshfield players had stopped, and the Rapids player picked up the ball and said, "See ya, fellas."
We will try to keep up with all the games on the Sports Network tonight.
Yeah, those of you watching, comment in your chat box and let us know if there's a certain game you'd like us to keep an extra close eye on. We will help with that.
Ellenbecker brings the offense out for the second possession. 14-0 game. From the shotgun. Designed run. Thorp all over it. Pickup of maybe one. So what we're seeing is that Thorp's defensive line bringing more linebackers up and getting into the backfield, giving Ellenbecker a lot fewer options. I'm trying to get outside. They're trying to contain him within the hash marks. Doing a good job with it last couple plays.
Wapaka over New London, 7-0 first quarter.
There was a holding call. I didn't see the flag, but they walked off 10 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 19. The holding call from the spot of the foul.
I heard some shouting from the Athens sideline. I just thought the coaches were upset that the play wasn't executed correctly.
Oh, they're upset about a lot of things probably right now.
Could be that also.
So 1st and very long.
Manawa 7, Spencer Columbus nothing.
We have the jumbo set, as I'll call it, packed in. Ellenbecker from the shotgun. Handoff is going nowhere.
Man, oh man.
Thorp sniffed it out. That's the third time that they've done this play, and Thorp was able to see it immediately.
Suppose they probably saw that on film during the week, too, and knew when that formation was coming. Now, it'll be up to Athens then to, I guess, throw into that formation, maybe. Throw them off.
Play action, yeah. Jacob Anala on the carry. Loses a couple yards.
Stratford 6, WIAA Fremont nothing. Homecoming for the Stratford Tigers in Marshfield.
Love it.
Yeah.
2nd and 22. That was a loss of 3 on that play. Athens backed up. Interesting formation. 2 in the backfield. Outside. We have a motion man. This is a reverse, actually. And Thorp is all over it. Thorp is playing really well right now.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, well, as you said before, Dan, that defensive line for the Cardinals just beating the Blue Jays right now.
Yep. Absolutely. This is going to bring up 3rd and 26. A quarter of the field, it looks like.
Long ways. Long ways. Could be a long first quarter for the Blue Jays here if they don't get it going quickly.
Halfway through the first.
Yep. Amherst 14, Nakusa nothing.
No surprise, I would say.
I don't think so.
Amherst playing well. I think we can keep it here and talk about some scores. Got a timeout for the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Down 14-0.
DC Everest 3, Hortonville nothing. That all these games in the first quarter. All these games I'm telling you folks about are live right now at Zaleski Sports. 10 to choose from, so 9 plus this one. No red zone today. This is the red zone. We are sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Jason Zaleski here, Dan Ross on our play-by-play today. It was no score at last check over in Edgar. Still scoreless. Again, Dan, that Pittsville defense is pretty good. They had Assumption beat, and especially defensively. Colby went into Edgar and scored 32, and then the next week put up 21 against a very stingy Pittsville defense.
Looks like we got Assumption 7, Loyal 6.
Really? Okay. Well, good for the Hounds. That's a score that I wasn't sure that I would be able to hear. A point for the Hounds. That's good.
Yeah, I believe the last game of the year in conference is going to be Thorp and Owen Withee. Owen Withee already on the board.
Yep, 6-0 there. Yeah.
Yep.
3rd and 23 for the Blue
And I should say, on that Owen Withee Greenwood, we tell folks to chat along with us. Haley Kadolf, athletic director for Owen Withee, in our chat box on that game.
Awesome.
Says, go Hawks.
Love it.
Yeah.
3rd and very long. High snap. Ellenbecker forced to his right. Throws it up over the middle. Incomplete. It was almost intercepted by three people.
Dan, I was going to say, Dan, flag might have been imminent. That's not a first down in high school football, but
it's true.
It's a big it's a big development for Athens. Give themselves a little bit of hope maybe on this drive.
Yep. It is going to be a 15-yard face mask.
Oh, okay.
On Thorp. Again, that's not an automatic first down.
Yeah. But 15 much-needed yards for these Blue Jays. It's going to make it 3rd and 11. Manageable.
3rd and looks like 8. We might have had down and distance wrong.
Well,
it's so hard because it was like 30 yards. It's really tough to figure it out.
Well, the scoreboard operator here, too, thought it was like us. But 3rd and 8. Okay, well, very manageable for the Jays then. Good. If you're a Blue Jay, good.
3rd and 8 from the Blue Jay 37-yard line. Ellenbecker over to get the play. Talking to the coach. They're just now winding the play clock, looks like.
Okay, I'll do the same then. Oh, never mind. Play clock, you said, not game clock.
5:49 left to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Thorp Cardinals. Number 5 in the state. Look like it so far.
Sure do.
Ellenbecker from the shotgun, back to pass, looks to his left. Lobs it up for grabs. It's picked off. That's a really nice play. Let's see if I can see who that is. It looks like it is
While you're looking for that,
Dylan Matson.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Number 2.
Intended for Kyle Ellenbecker. It was one-on-one, but Matson with the position and the pick.
Really counts the same as about a punt, so you can be a little bit upset about it, but...
Well, again, though, now defensively for the Jays, you got to do something. You got to put a stop to it.
Yep, and it's 8-man football. It's the same players on both sides of the ball, more or less.
True that.
3rd possession for Thorp. This is a handoff up the middle. A lot of running room. This is like Logan Hansen. He's got one man to beat, and he's going to. He's running away from defense and pulling up. That is a one-play touchdown, 64 yards.
What a run for Hansen. And these Cardinals, 20 points already in the first quarter. Still got 5.5 left.
Yeah, and what really made it work was Rosemeyer has been running and looked like it was going to be play action, kind of a delayed handoff, and Hansen took it to the house. 64 yards, and Thorp is running away with this early.
I said, Dan, as the Cardinals took over there, that the Jays defense had to do something, but did not work out.
Extra point is just barely over the crossbar.
It keeps getting lower and lower
it really
as he
does.
kicks.
It really does. He's getting tired. 5:31 left to play in the first half. It's 21-0 Thorp over Athens. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Athens football after this on Zaleski Sports.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business, and I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, we are sponsored today by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. It is 7-7 Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. 2.5 left in the first. Wisconsin Rapids with the ball. Watch it live on Zaleski Sports.
Thorp to kick off, up 21-0. 5:31 left to play. It is an onside kick. It's a short kick. Someone's got to get on it. Ball is still loose. And Thorp is cheering, and I think they got it.
Man, oh man, Dan. I mean, it's conference football. You're going to pull out, a lot of stops. I won't say all of them, but, if you believe you saw something, and obviously the Cardinals must have, and the Blue Jays proved them right.
The Cardinals recover the onside kick.
All right, so Thorp is going to keep the ball. They are going for the kill early.
Yeah, it's a race to 60, I suppose, and they're a third of the way there.
Yeah, and it wasn't a traditional onside kick. It was kind of a get it over the front line and have the ball spin on the ground and try to get down there in time.
Well, it was well executed.
So Rosemeyer, back to pass. They're going for it all. It was tipped at the line, but there's a wide open receiver. Caught at the 10, and that is another touchdown for Thorp.
Got to be kidding me. The busted coverage, the wide open receiver, even on a ball that was, Dan said, was deflected and turns out to be underthrown. So wide open, plenty of time to get under it and catch it for the touchdown. Wow.
27-0 Thorp. Looks like maybe Corbin Rosemeyer caught that. It's really hard to see.
Well, they put all the Rosemeyers on the bus and bring them over.
Yeah. I mean, they own the company. So.
Yeah, yep. It's easy to do.
Croplin in for the extra point. This one's much better, and it's through. 28-0 Thorp. That was a 12-second drive.
Again, we're sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. More football after this on Zaleski Sports. Cropping Central, conveniently located between Edgar and Stratford on County Road N, 715-352-2843. Let Cropping Central take care of your field plans, yield mapping, crop scouting, and crop protection, including hail insurance. Cropping Central, 715-352-2843. And visit them on County Road N, west of Edgar. All right, coming back here on Zaleski Sports, back to Athens where the Thorp Cardinals lead the Jays 28-0. All Thorp here in the first quarter. Halftime, we got a special presentation. Forward Bank has brought their road show here to Athens. They'll select a lucky, or perhaps lucky contestant, and they're going to toss a football 20 yards into a bucket for $5,000.
That's a lot of money.
We'll carry that live.
This is a full kick, taken from about the 23, up the middle, and he is hit hard, clothesline down just across the 35. The Blue Jays will get the ball this time. Down 4 touchdowns. 5:14 left to play in the first quarter.
And then a special treat between the third and fourth quarter. We'll have Forward Bank's very own Jess Frame come up here. She's going to tell us about the outpost that Forward Bank has here in Athens. That's what I call it. But Jess knows exactly what's going on over there. And come and tell us about Forward Bank and some of their community involvement, those types of things. So that coming up between the third and fourth quarter. Still first quarter, 5:14 left in it.
Do you think that we'll have her do some play-by-play?
I know she would if I asked her to, so let's have it. Me and you just go take a break for a while.
I love it.
Okay.
Well, by then it's going to be below freezing, so we might need to warm up.
Get your major muscles moving, create the body heat.
Ellenbecker tackled immediately.
Boy, for as good as the Thorp offense has been, that defense has been equally as good.
Yeah, they have their ears pinned back at this point.
Yeah, and you can 28-0. So now the defense. You don't have to play error-free. You don't even play anywhere near it. You're allowed to really do some creative things, some very aggressive things defensively, having a 28-point lead in the first quarter.
65-0 over Greenwood, 36-0 over Alma Lincoln, 36-0 over New Auburn. Yeah, good defense.
Seems impressive, yeah.
Second and long for the Blue Jays. Ellenbecker gets it out quick, and it's dropped by Zarnke.
Yeah, a little bit behind him, but Ellenbecker had to get it out quick because guess what? The defensive line was converging fast.
Yeah, and honestly, he took a lick also.
Yeah.
So third and long.
Yeah, right now we see Kyler Ellenbecker come to the sideline, get the play. His shoulders are slumped down. You can tell that the psychological win for the Cardinals here so far as well.
I've been impressed with Thorp. I know Athens was fantastic last year. We talked a little bit about that in
they couldn't be beat. They actually scared a team away, and because they don't want to play them and take a loss.
Ellenbecker keeps it himself up the middle, picks up a couple yards, and then half the team literally tackles Ellenbecker and pushes him back. It's going to be 4th and about 8.
Dan, do you remember on the first Athens play of the game, offensive play, they had a 15-yard gain?
Yeah.
Seems like a long time ago right now.
Yep, and it was on the outside. So you're down by 28. You're going to go for it, which I don't disagree with.
At this point, it's 4 downs the whole way through until you catch up. If you catch up.
4th and 8 from the Blue Jay 38. Thorp had the punt returner back, and now he's in as a linebacker. Back to pass. Some space, incomplete.
Well, a little bit of space, but threw it in between 4 Cardinals, and Cardinals were ready for that.
Yeah, and actually, who made the play was the actual punt returner who came in and then followed looked like it was a tight end from that tight formation. Good looking play. Actually, it wasn't a bad pass by Ellenbecker, but just too many defenders on that one guy.
So, Cardinals have only run a few offensive plays and get to come back on the field offensively. Now, and Dan, you said most of these guys go both ways, and mostly they do, but as I look at that Cardinal bench and you see them coming into your screen now, that's another unit over there, though.
Yeah.
At least. So fresh bodies for the Cardinals, too.
Rosenmeyer fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself on the near side. He's across the 35-30. Knocked out of bounds at the 25, but again, another nice gain of about 14 yards.
They've been tough to stop, and the Blue Jays have not found a way yet as we near the end of the first quarter. Already second quarter in Marshall. That's homecoming. Still 7-7. Wisconsin Rapids has a 4th down upcoming, and it looks like they're keeping their offense on the field over there. Again, you can watch any of these games live at ZaleskiSports.com. That's what I'm watching.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. You talk about Athens not running many offensive plays. Honestly, Thorp hasn't either with the 28-point lead.
Yeah, it's about the same.
From the shotgun, this is a handoff to Logan Hansen. He's already scored. He's around the outside across the 15, 10, 5, going for the pylon. This is going to be a little bit short.
Quarterback Rosenmeyer, Dan, on the handoff was signaling touchdown. He wasn't that far off.
It looks like he's knocked out about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2.
Okay, so we get our first goal-to-go situation. Manawa continues to lead Spencer Columbus 7-0. That game also into the second quarter. I think we're probably going to be the last to leave the first quarter. All the scoring we've had. And Cardinals ready for more.
From the shotgun, this is given to Hansen right up the middle. In for the touchdown.
Yeah, they signaled touchdown on the far side. So, yep, touchdown okay. Cardinals.
Yeah, the near side, who probably you'd expect to call it, was just kind of looking.
It reminds me of a Major League Baseball game I went to 2 years ago. It was during the COVID year. I should say just after, right? They played the rec league during the summer. I'll tell that story after the kick. We'll keep it here during that, but I'll tell that story. I think it's a funny one.
Croplin, that's a better looking kick. He's already got 5 points with his foot. It's 35-0 here in Athens. 3:17 left to play in the first quarter.
So if you've got Croplin in fantasy, you're doing pretty good. You feel pretty good about your team so far anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good high school kicker in fantasy football.
Impossible up till today.
Yeah.
So it was it was April of 2021. Thank you. April of 2021, it was the Brewers' home opener, and there were only like a couple thousand people there because most of the seats they were unavailable. They weren't selling it out.
Is this Old County Stadium?
Intentionally. No. Just a year and a half ago. but we still had attendance caps because we were all going to die, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, and we were sitting in the front row up the left field line, and the third base umpire was pretty close to us the whole time. A lazy fly ball was hit into left field. It was caught. The umpire.
Oh my gosh!
The umpire never signaled out. He just stood there. Right? It was a can of corn into left field, and he wouldn't bother himself just to raise his hand and signal out. And I gave it to him after that. I did.
A 10-yard return.
I don't really get involved with officials. I really much don't care. They're going to call whatever they want, and it's not my business to call it. But, I mean, raise your hand and signal out. Now, this wasn't as bad, but he didn't raise his arms, though, either.
Yeah, you should support your official teammates out there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Be emphatic. Raise up your arms.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Athens looking to get something going. 3:12 left in the first quarter. 35-0. Athens, a high-scoring team. They scored 74 last week against Alma Lincoln. Going with the jumbo set once again. Ellenbecker from the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, and he's hit right at the line. The Thorp Cardinals are all over it. It's like they know the plays.
Tyler Ellenbecker and the keeper.
Maybe Thorp has someone in the huddle.
2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays.
Just trying to sneak in.
I just think they've really done a good job in film study and knew exactly what was going to happen here with these Jays. Yep. That's what it looks like to me.
So Athens is going to take a timeout here.
We're gonna keep it here.
Okay.
I got to fix the website a little bit. We're broadcasting to many channels here, and I forgot about one of them. So I'm gonna
really
I'm gonna get the website fixed up here and do that here during this commercial break or during this. Break in the action, I should say. I
like it, yeah. So we have lots to talk about, like the Milwaukee Brewers in a pennant chase.
Do we?
0-0 right now.
Disappointing.
And you know what?
Disappointing.
The Phillies have had 3 games on the Brewers for quite a while, and they really stubbed their toes in Chicago, and the Brewers looked like they were going to actually jump into the wild card lead, and last night they gave up the grand slam in the 8th inning.
Just horrible. And against a former Brewer.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Avi Garcia breaks the Brewers' hearts. Now, again, last week, Dan, I told you I had my pants on, so I wear shorts from the beginning of the Brewer season to the end. Now, I decide when it's the end. And I had my pants on last week already because I've said it's done. And the pants remain on, especially after last night's just miserable performance by those Brewers. Just miserable.
The Phillies won earlier today. It's supposed to be a doubleheader. I think that's going to be this weekend, maybe tomorrow. So the Phillies are up 1 game. So the Brewers, only 6 games left or 7 or whatever it is now. Got to win them all. I believe the season ends on Wednesday. Like, it's kind of a weird day that it
6
ends.
games left if you've for the maximum. The maximum games on anybody's schedule right now are 6.
Yeah, and a change to baseball this year, for those that aren't aware, is that in the past, you play 162 games, right? And so if there's a tie, they've always just played the tiebreaker game. But they're not doing that this year. They go by the old NFL tiebreaker where, like, whoever won the season series gets the playoff spot, and that's not the Brewers this year.
It will not be the Brewers, no. And they're not, I mean, listen, they're cooked. They're cooked. They've been cooked for 2 weeks. They may have been cooked for 2 months, honestly.
I know you weren't a big fan of the trade deadline.
Well, you know what? I understood it. It turns out the Brewers players weren't a fan of it, is what it turns out.
Ellenbecker ahead maybe a yard.
The Brewers quit. The teammates quit after Hader was dished out to the West Coast.
To be fair, Hader has lost his job, and he's not.
He was upset too. Yeah, he was upset too, and you mess with team chemistry, and sometimes it backfires on you, and I think it did on the Brewers.
3rd and long. 3rd and about 9.
What are you going to call it? 9? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
3rd and 9 from the 30.
Big thanks to everybody watching out there. We had a weird link, but that's been fixed. So do me a favor, everybody watching, send this link out to all your friends. Let them know that the game is live. We got lots of people watching, so there's a few out there that just weren't able to find the new link.
So this was a kind of a juggled handoff, a bad exchange. It's going to be brought down for a loss of about, say, to give them forward progress, loss of 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, I got 14. I got 4th and 14 upcoming.
Yeah. 4th and very long.
That's pretty close anyway. Wapaka continues to lead New London 7-0. Again, New London comes into that game averaging just 8 points per game. Wapaka somewhere near 40.
Go Comets.
Wapaka only 1 win. They've just have some defensive struggles. Punt team on for the Jays.
4th and long. This is a fake. No, it's just a bad snap.
Man.
Ball's on the ground. It doesn't matter who has it because it is going to be a turnover on downs. And the mistakes are starting to pile up for the Blue Jays here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Dan, I was just about to say, if anything can go wrong, it seems like it will. And then there's another miscue for the Jays. Just poor execution, really. Whether it's been on special teams, defense, offensively, it's not even maybe so much execution for the Jays offensively, rather just the Cardinals' defense has been outstanding.
The Cardinals are going to take over in the red zone.
Speaking of Security Health Plan red zone coverage, Security Health Plan promises kept, plain and simple. The Cardinals are in it.
They are. 64 seconds left in the first quarter.
They may not be in it long. We'll see.
Rosemeyer back to pass, rolls to his left. He throws in the end zone. Another open receiver. Try to drag that foot. Is he in?
Huh? Toe, drag,
they got
swag.
It looked like maybe the left foot wasn't in, but you know what? It's 1 foot in high school football. The official's closer to it than we are.
He was right there, the official, yeah.
Yeah, and they looked at each other, and they both nodded, so it looked like it's a touchdown.
And they both signaled. He took the play off the last touchdown in signaling. He signaled that one.
Emphatic. Fantasy kicker.
Of course, I'm just joking with him.
Right. Fantasy kicker Ashton Croplin in for his 6th extra point. Good looking leg on this kid. That is good. It's 42-0 Thorp in the first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds after this on Zaleski Sports.
At the Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium, company-paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood.
Kickoff, fumbled, picked up at the 25, and the Cardinals are there, kind of thrown down in a rough way, just shy of the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Blue Jays.
It reminds me of an old NFL clip where they are, it's kind of a goof on some of the officials. And there was a white hat, gosh, Dan, this was probably 25 years ago. It was an NFL game, the Bills, and it was somebody else. It was a personal foul, but the official hand motion for personal foul, and then he said number 22 giving him the business.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you can find that on on YouTube.
It's awesome.
Giving him the business.
Giving him the business, and that's that's what people say.
Well, you know what? I think that officials should do that a whole lot more.
Just speak in regular terms. Tell me like I would tell you.
Ellenbecker from the shotgun. Handoff counterplay. The Cardinals are in the backfield once again. Fantastic play by Logan Hansen.
Yeah, Logan Hansen has done it offensively and now does it defensively. One more play will be needed here in this quarter, and depending on the result of it, could be more, but they will need to see at least one more play before we exit the first quarter. And again, of our 10 games, I believe we will be the last to exit the first quarter. Edgar Pittsville, by the way, Edgar leading 15-0, 7 minutes left in the half.
Yeah.
We're in the first quarter.
Sheffer game probably is halftime.
I'll take you up on that.
Ellenbecker from the shotgun once again.
Whistles delay a game, it looks like, Dan.
Well, there's a lot of movement by someone.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be back the Blue Jays up 5 more yards.
Let's see. Waiawega Fremont at Stratford. Ooh, no. Oh, just into the second quarter. 10 minutes into the second.
What's the score?
Oh,
Is it still
you care about that kind of thing? 24-0 Stratford.
Little
Must
surprising.
have been I bet there's got to be a defensive score in there somewhere.
Little
I bet there's
surprising.
got to be.
Stratford offense is not known as a high-scoring team. Hey,
Not
we've
this
come
year.
to the end of the first quarter. Thorp hits the end zone 6 times. It's 42-0. Back with more Athens football after this on Zaleski Sports.
Really got to understand what what a nurse is. Do they focus on you? You know, do they make sure that you're comfortable? And you know, that's what Shai has. It's the connection that he has. You know, my best interest in mind always.
Why wait another day? Let's take the next step together towards a better life.
First things first with Mid-State Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school. Then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Mid-State Technical College.
All right, just about ready for second quarter football here in Athens, presented by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Dan, that means we're just 12 minutes from our big halftime contest where some fan, I said lucky, but they might consider it to be unlucky. But some fan is going to have their ticket drawn, and they're going to head out to the football field, and they're going to attempt to throw a football from 20 yards into a bucket. Now, Mr. Rosenmeyer did that on his first touchdown pass today, but he's not eligible.
Yeah.
It'll be somebody's mom or dad out here, and we'll probably get a good chuckle out of it, but it's going to be good entertainment coming up at halftime.
$5,000. I mean, that's
$5,000.
Yeah, that's something. You should have 30-yard field goals. I think I can maybe make a 30-yard field goal.
Well, that's how this contest started with Forward Bank, was with field goals, and I did a whole video series on how to successfully make the field goal or to beat the system and make that money, but then they took the field goals out because I cracked the code.
Thorp showing blitz, handoff up the middle. This is one of the positive plays that the Athens have had in the first half. That is right up the middle. Pickup of maybe 3.
Yep, Anila on the carry.
Gain of 2.
Still down and distance situation, though, for the Jays.
Call for the Blue Jays.
Third and have to go 2 sticks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting having the ball in this half of the field.
Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. The lines are unblemished. They're still super white.
My neck didn't turn that way right away. It didn't want to.
3rd and 12. Ellenbecker from the shotgun. Going to keep it himself. Trying to get outside. Stood up and tackled by 4 Cardinals. That's half the team.
Just another beefy rally to the ball by the Cardinals, and no gain on the play.
Yep. 4th and long.
Loss on the play.
Well, you're down 42-0, so there's no punting here. Right, but the punt return comes on for the Cardinals.
I think the punter's out there. I think that's number 9 back there. I saw him punting in pregame.
So that would be Aiden Yonke if it is. Leading receiver for these Jays.
Yeah.
Has not caught a pass, though, yet today. Well, they are in punt formation. Okay.
Yonke gets the kick away. That's a nice kick.
I would say. Fair catch
Fair
right away.
catch is made right at the 35-yard line. That is Rosenmeyer.
So I'd remarked before, Dan, it was 24-0 Stratford over Waiawega. And just like that, Waiawega scores. They are never going to be out of a game this year, I don't believe.
We had a lot of fun with that Waiawega game in Amherst last week on the Red Zone channel.
It's a touchdown every 32 seconds, like live, like real time.
Yeah, we actually thought about just like showing that game and talking over it because we don't want to miss anything. There was so much going on.
Nope. They make noise now over in the other game in Marshfield. Well, my phone locked up. Here we go. The other game in Marshfield, homecoming on both of them too, by the way. Give you a score update on that in just a second. We're in a replay right now.
Rosenmeyer hands it off here on the near side. Big gainer, pick of about 20 yards. That is number 8. That's not on my program.
What?
Or is it 9? It might be 9. Yeah, Denzel Sutton.
Sutton, yep, okay.
So the 8 and the 9, very similar numbers when we're a good 50 yards away.
Just a minute left at Hiding Community Stadium. It's Wisconsin Rapids 13, Marshfield 7. A minute left in the first half. Homecoming from Marshfield, and so we saw a lot of homecoming teams lose in the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Rosemeyer gets it out incomplete, and now a flag, really late flag, comes in from the far line judge, and he's talking immediately to Thorp.
So
yeah,
Jays maybe lined up in the neutral zone, something pre-snap like that. I don't know.
Yeah, usually they blow that dead.
Yeah.
Personal foul on Thorp.
Oh, so he was explaining who it was.
Gotcha, okay.
To the bench over there.
Back it up 15. That just helps the stats.
Yeah, you're right about that. 15 will be 2nd and 24 upcoming.
The play or the game clock is just rolling. I wonder if it's a mutual agreed on. They're just going to run this thing.
Well, it wasn't, and then until they started stepping it off, then it started running.
Yeah, maybe.
Usually that doesn't happen on its own until the second half with the score margin like it is, but it just started on its own there.
Rosemeyer from the shotgun. Hands it off here on the near side, 35-40, 45-50. There's so much room. Across the 40, he was tiptoeing on the sideline, but he stepped out.
Yeah, pushed out of bounds by number 13, Evan Possel. And Possel right away pointed and said, hey, he stepped out right here.
They get the first down. They pick up, looks like about 25 yards.
Well, they needed 24, so that would be enough.
So 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 40. And again, plays get to the outside, and there's so much room. The only one running out there. From the shotgun, Rosemeyer. Option play, keeps it himself. Dragging defenders up the middle. Pickup of about, looks like 7.
You know what that means, Dan? He's been on the leg press before in the weight room.
Yes. I remember in high school, you go into the locker room sometimes, and you have some of these athletes that are leg pressing like buses, it seems like. It's like all the weights in the gym are on this, and they're doing it. They're like, man, I'm a runner. I got good legs, and I try to do it myself. It's like, oh, no, this isn't very good.
Well, that's Nick Lieberg down in Wisconsin Rapids. He's
Quadzilla.
He's in the 400-pound range on his squat. That's pretty good for a high school kid.
Yeah, for sure. Big-time football player and basketball player.
Football player.
Yeah.
Refining his basketball skills yet. I'll tell him I said that.
Rosemeyer gets the ball to the outside. That's going to be enough to pick up the first down. Samuel Thompson looks like catching the ball.
I mentioned earlier the Athens lists pretty much every coach that they have. Head coach Keldrick Stokes coaches the Thorp Cardinals, has put together. Coach Stokes has a really nice game plan here tonight.
Yeah, really talented. This is a team that, we don't talk about playoffs a whole lot. I believe Thorp is eligible.
They are.
Yep,
they are.
That could give Newman Catholic a run this year. There's a run on the near side. Again, dragging defenders.
Newman, Dan, has been known to look out of the side of their eye at other teams and in fear. And so I believe that's a pretty good summation. And it Cardinals and Cardinals, when you get birds of the same feather that come together, it can be bedlam at times.
And I don't think that Thorp has played Gilman yet. Gilman also big 8-man football team. There's a holding. I'm trying to do 2 things at once.
Okay.
Holding on Thorp, so it's going to go back 10 yards. But this conference, Gilman got their butts kicked by Owen Withey. We talked to Owen Withey in the pregame, and Gilman was ranked number 3 in the state or something, and Owen Withey really took it to him. But Gilman, good team, going to be in that conversation. Handoff, this looks like it is Logan Hansen once again. He's actually still on his feet, playing pinball out there, able to get all of the penalty yardage back.
Yeah, Thorpe plays Gilman next week.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I would think so. And then Thorpe finishes up against Owen Withey.
Might be a conference championship game.
Whoa, and it'd be Owen's last game of the year, so they're going to lay it all on the line out there.
I wonder if they could
pick up a neutral or what they call it, a friendly in soccer?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, what do we got here? What down are we at? I can't see the scoreboard from here.
Looks like it's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. Okay, good. Now we got it.
Got 10 yards on the...
And the clock does continue to roll here.
Yeah. Back to pass. This is a flare out to the halfback.
Oh, he's got blocking.
Hansen. Good blocking all the way down. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. 48-0 Thorp.
Yeah, and the clock does continue to run, so it's not a rule in the first half, but like you said, maybe the teams got together at the quarter break and said, let's just roll this on here. Everybody go home and have a nice weekend.
Speaking of nice weekends,
okay,
the weather was amazing today. Able to get out and golf 18 holes, and tomorrow going to be in the low 70s.
I heard you broke the course record today.
I don't know who you heard that from.
Oh, okay.
Extra points, good. 7 points if you have Ashton Cropland on your fantasy football team.
It's pretty good work. Again, with the running clock, we will. Oh, well, it will stop here between scores. Again, Zaleski Sports today, sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Thank you all for watching and hopefully enjoying today's broadcast. There is a massive audience online for Wisconsin Rapids Marshfield, and the Tigers have tied the game at 14 just seconds before halftime. We're drawing for the contest.
757.
Girls, is it you? 452. Can we look out there, see if you see who it is?
Do you want to interview them beforehand?
He's right down. Who is he in the hat right here? Who is this guy walking? Do we know who that is? No? He just moved to town. He's new here.
I don't think it was him.
Oh, you don't think it was him?
I think they are still looking for who it is.
Oh, well, he was marching around like he had done something good. Okay, well, never mind then.
It'd be really nice to interview them before they go out there and think about what their thought process is.
Well, I can take the microphone down there. I'll give it to you. My foot's a little banged up.
We should do it.
I'm going to give you the microphone, Dan. I'll let you head down there.
All right.
It's a great idea.
Kickoff taken from the 20. Straight up the middle.
Oh, a monster block thrown.
It wasn't even a block. It was the Thorp guy who pushed the Athens Blue Jays down. That's a good return of about 22 yards. Pretty good field position for the Athens.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Blue
not
Jays.
a block because they were not on the return.
Yeah, I mean he pushed the blocker down.
A monster
backwards.
hit. Yeah. A monster hit. There we go.
That ticket number again was 757.
Yeah, you're right. They're still looking for the winner of our contest.
Maybe they'll draw again.
I'm looking to see what happened here, how Marshfield scored. They scored, sudden. And then maybe, had a really big pass play. Well, anyway, it's tied at 14. Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, a massive audience online watching that one. You should join them. Bring up a second device and take in 2 football games on Zaleski Sports.
From the 42, Ellenbecker, hands off up the middle. Positive yard gains here. Pick up of about 5, halfway to the first down stick.
Jacob Anla on the carry.
Jacob Anla.
Okay.
-5 on the play.
Yeah, Dan, I think it's a great idea. We're going to ship you down with the microphone, interview. And sometimes I've seen this before. We saw somebody win one of these a couple of years ago. When it had the ticket, and then they put in they're like, "No, I'm not going."
Should I go down the field for it? Do you think they let us out there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Forward's a diehard sponsor of ours. They would love nothing more than for the extra attention, and in a positive way, of course. Flag.
6 people moved. The ball did not.
That's a problem. Wapaka is still up 7-0 over New London. Very low scoring game for Wapaka Comets anyway.
Beautiful stadium over in Wapaka.
Yeah. And great view coming into town. Really nice. And halftime there in Wapaka. And games all over the place going to halftime. We will be soon. I thought, geez, now they started that clock again.
Now we got a minute 40 left before halftime. 49-0 Thorp. Ellenbecker from the shotgun.
I hear the band warming up.
Handoff up the middle. I think it's Anela once again.
Anla on the carry.
Able to get most of the penalty yardage back.
Going to bring up third. Just went to third.
We haven't had anybody
third down.
claim the forward bank ticket number yet.
No one came forward.
Well, you draw another one. You got to have a contestant. We didn't come all the way out here to see nobody throw it. Otherwise, I nominate Dan.
Yeah, I don't have an arm, but yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Like
20 yards.
Yeah. I would only do it if they let me get the ball from underneath the center, and like a 3-step drop. Because it has to be in rhythm.
I'd recommend a 5-step drop. Yeah. Give yourself a little bit of time in the pocket. Gather yourself, and then twist your hips and just rip it.
Yeah.
Could be the last play of the half here. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Could be the last play of the half.
Handoff up the middle. Brought down. Pickup of maybe 2 or 3. And we'll see if Athens just lets this roll down for the half. 25 seconds left.
7-5-7.
Yeah, coaches are peeling off headsets down there, Dan. It looks like they're going to go to the half.
7-5-7-4-2-7.
Do they draw a new number?
Yeah.
Drew a new number.
They're also pedaling 50-50. They just now got it out and ready.
Well, again, this game got escalated with the clock rolling. So sometimes you've just got to change your plans. So we are at halftime here. We'll take a quick commercial break. Dan's going to head down on the field and maybe interview a contestant. If they don't show up, maybe not. But take a quick commercial break, get Dan all set up. Back for more after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business, and I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
For your halftime entertainment, the Athens High School Marching Band.
Welcome to Zaleski Sports. We are on the field, Athens High School, with Addison. Addison had her ticket picked. She is going to throw a football 15 yards for $5,000. Is your heart pumping? You don't seem that excited. out of all these people you were picked, you have a chance to get a lot of money for college or whatever it is. You get one chance, you get one moment. What's going through your head right now? Do you feel confident? Feel confident? Hey, do you throw footballs a lot? I feel like self-confidence emanating from you. Are you allowed to practice? Like, all right, yeah. Warm up. She's limbering up.
We're moments away from a $5,000 football throw sponsored by Thorp Bank. Moving an arc moves forward online at Thorp.bank and in person right here in Athens. Thorp Bank's very own Jess Frame's going to come up and talk to us after the third quarter and tell us about the location here in Athens. But this is Addison attempting to win $5,000, $2,500 for herself and $2,500 for her school.
She can get the ball in the bucket. Edison was a minor. We actually had to go through the process of getting parent permission via telephone. It's a very official thing. That's good. You got a pretty good arm. Are you getting more confident? I think she can do it. Good luck. Good luck, Addison. The marching band is kicking us off the field a little bit. Is someone from Forward Bank here? Absolutely. No?
We all are.
All.
Yeah.
Forward Bank, a sponsor of Zaleski Sports, I believe.
Yes.
What is new with Forward Bank?
What is new with Forward Bank?
Yeah.
Well, there's always something new with Forward Bank. I mean, there's always something going on. Always new things in the community we try to be involved in and do our best to do that.
Is this the first year that you had the bucket challenge?
In Athens, this is the first year we've done the barrel, the halftime toss here. We have done the half-court tosses for the basketball games and stuff like that, but yeah, first one for the football season.
Has anybody ever cashed in and won the jackpot?
Multiple times, actually.
Wow!
We started this off as a kick, and then that was a little bit of a challenge, so we tried to ease it up a little bit because we wanted winners, so we did a toss instead.
It's great that you do that for the community. What other community outreach things does Forward Bank do?
Oh, let's ask our marketing person over here, Sierra.
All right, Sierra. Community outreach.
Yeah. So it's part of our mission, moving our communities forward. I mean, athletics, local high schools, these half-court, half-time opportunities are a big thing. Schools, we do scholarships, supporting local businesses, nonprofits. We do a lot for that industry and sector as well. So, like I said, anything we can move our communities forward, we're doing, or trying to do at least.
Right.
That's fantastic. And always thank you for being a sponsor of Zaleski Sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we're taking a break down here until the band is done playing, but we'll be back in a couple minutes.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business, and I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Athens High School Marching Band. Forward Bank Insurance and Investment Services are proud to support the Athens Blue Jays. Our thrower will get 2 attempts from the 15-yard line to throw the ball into a 32-gallon barrel sitting on the goal line. We hope to see a successful throw here tonight and award the school and
No. Good luck. Win some money. 2 tries.